Hey everybody, I'm Lex.
I'm Chris with PDQ.com.
And in the during your intro, JJ's like, I hope everything's centered. I'm like, I don't do much around here, but I do center stuff. So
my Zen is centered. I'm good to go.
Your Zen is centered?
Zen center?
Yeah. Lex has got his body by Photoshop.
Body by Photoshop. Me, if you look at me, you're thinking Kim Kardashian, aren't you?
Yeah, I got corgis, because corgis. So
better than Kim Kardashian?
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with that. Should we jump into this? Because the jokes are just...
Challenge accepted.
They're landing.
They're landing?
Like Chris's corgis on the moon over there.
Woof.
All right, what's our first question?
Dear Lex and Chris, when uninstalling via PDQ Deploy, a shortcut is left on the desktop, but not uninstalling via control panel. Help? Sincerely, Fordi.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
okay, so I'm going to do the pondering thought here.
Deep hurting. You have any thoughts?
My first question is, why wouldn't that uninstall if we're using an uninstall string?
Yeah.
That's in the registry.
Yeah, so normally if you were to look at the applications inside PDQ inventory here, let's just pull up Allen Rails here. Look at any of the applications on the applications page, and I'm going to get that.
There's that centering part that I didn't do, right?
Yep. You'll see the uninstall string over here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, if you're just going to say, hey, let's uninstall, it's calling that uninstall from that uninstall string what's there in the registry on the uninstall string section and blah, blah, blah.
Let's just do one while we're at it.
Yeah, that's a good call. However, if what's there isn't uninstalling the shortcut or removing it or whatever, for whatever reason, it won't be removed. If, however, when you call this... So let me backtrack a little bit. I'm getting lost in the woods here.
Right.
If you're creating this manually and not using what's in the registry, you might be missing a switch or something that needs to be added in order to remove that. If it is in the uninstall string like here and you're doing it verbatim, I'm not quite sure what would be going on then, because it should be the same, yeah.
Because this uninstall, it's MSI, it's a slam dunk.
Yes, MSI is easy.
No silent parameters. I used the highlighter. Anywho,
way to highlight that.
The other thing is, I'm wondering if it's installed publicly and you uninstall it, is a reboot needed to make it disappear off the desktop? I don't think so, but...
I would doubt that, but it depends on the program, I would guess, especially if it's not an MSI. What you can do if you find yourself like just up in arms, like, I don't know what I'm doing or how to do this, well, PowerShell or command prompt, one of those PowerShell step or command step, or even a batch file, whatever floats your boat, you could use that to just delete it.
Yeah.
And have that as a final step or something. Or if it's an auto-download package, just add that as a post step and just clean it up afterwards. I mean, there's things you can do without seeing the exact application or what's going on. It's hard to say.
Hard to guess,
because it's different for each.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But you can delete it using PowerShell or batch file, command line. You couldn't go after it that way.
Yeah, and PowerShell's the best. Just throwing that out there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Dear Lex and Chris, is there a way in inventory to find computers that have been removed from AD but are still part of static collections? Sincerely, Dietrich K.
Diedrich. So what I did here, I went and I added a column here. So I went to customize our grid here, and I added the column added from. Ooh. Okay. And it's right here. So you notice right here, these are all added from AD Sync. Okay. So the nice thing about AD Sync, depending on how you've got your settings for your AD Sync in your parameters here, if you do a full sync where it deletes computers that are not part of AD, warning, first, it'll just delete anything that's not part of AD. If you're doing a mixed sync, it'll delete anything that's deleted out of AD will get deleted from the AD Sync. Now, that being said, I don't know if I've got anything added from any other source at this point. Why don't I go, I'm going to go add a computer so you can see the difference here.
Certainly. While he's doing that, just one of the important parts with that full sync, mixed sync difference is if in a mixed sync, even if a machine exists in a location that you're syncing in Active Directory, but you add it manually, it will not be part of that mixed sync. Even if it's part of that location, it has to be added via the AD Sync for it to be managed by that mixed mode setting for the AD Sync. But yeah, so you added...
Okay, so that being said, if you build a dynamic collection or a report that says, give me anything that has been added from anything other than AD Sync that is not equal AD Sync, you're going to get things that are added by name, and those are the ones you're going to have to go look for to clean up.
Yeah, and one of the great things, here's a nice little tip for those who don't know. If you right-click on one of these columns...
Oh, you can group by it. That's true.
Group by it, And you can easily, at a glance, be able to expand and say, oh, which ones are by name? Oh, there they are. I got them. And you should be able to, from the All Computers item here on the left, be able to see everything that's in there, regardless of whatever other collections that are in. So, kind of cool.
So again, a pro tip: if it's in AD, add it from AD Sync. You may have to delete it and re-add it from AD Sync, but at that point, it gets maintained from the top level AD down. So
yes, and if you're using things aside from that, don't use full sync. Otherwise, it'll be removed every time you run AD Sync.
Yep.
And you'll like pull your hairs out in frustration to trying to find out where did my not from AD computer go, because it'll disappear when it syncs with the full sync. So cool.
Absolutely.
Good question.
Did I beat that horse to death?
Not enough.
Okay.
Dearest Lex and Chris, what are some best practices for changing administrators, both in terms of who's licensed and who has console access? Sincerely, the lovely and talented Kathleen F.
Okay, I'm going to do some just for Jason Hanks. Now, you should consider your licenses like toothbrushes.
Oh.
Right?
So share them.
No. No. Okay, all right. Forget that. Think of your licenses like underwear. All right, let's just not go down that path. Did I just derail your train, man?
Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
All right, well, let's get you back on. I'm going to let you go for it. What do you think? All right, now that I've just totally busted Chris up. So here's the thing. Transitioning admins, right? So one, make sure you go in here under console users.
That's the one.
Add the new ones. Remove the old ones.
It's easy. Just click the button that says
How easy is it, Chris?
add. Oh my goodness. I am a name. And it's not going to add it because I can't find someone named I'm a name because it doesn't exist. But you should know I wanted to show this up because it actually checks.
It will actually check.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this user or group. I wanted to point that out.
okay.
So
Add it in there, and then boom, take the one out that you don't want. That's the best practice.
Yes, and it's all about simultaneous users actively opening up, say, in a central server configuration.
That being said, that part is about how many simultaneous. Your licensing is one license
per admin.
Breathing admin.
Yes. So that's how you do it. That's how you handle it. It's all fantastic.
Absolutely.
And we have a follow-up of sorts from Kathleen. We are using Central Server with 6 humans plus 1 service account. We use the service account as our default deploy/scanner user, and this account also runs the background service. Each person and the service account are console users, and they each have their own license. But I'm curious if we're being redundant with giving the service account a license. Thanks, Kathleen F.
Okay, I'm gonna do a new act. It's called Sleazy Salesman. You ready?
Let's see this.
Don't put okay. Absolutely, you should buy a license for someone who doesn't exist.
Says no one ever at
that's true,
PDQ.com.
guys. It's just for your living, breathing admins.
Yep.
I mean, I absolutely understand. A lot of people will set up a PDQ service or PDQ agent to run as the background, and then license the people that come in to use it. So that actually works pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So if you have 6 people, 6 humans actively using the product, 6 licenses.
You don't need one for the service account, and forget the Sleazy Salesman Act because it doesn't exist.
That's right. Well done.
Not here, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Touche.
Good point.
Dear Lex and dear Chris, is it possible to have 2 instances of PDQ client running on my personal system for 2 different PDQ servers? Sincerely, Joshua L.
Let's ask Vic. Can he run 2 servers on the same machine? Nope.
It failed the eeny, meeny, miny, mo test. That was
Eeny,
hard
meeny,
to say.
miny, mo didn't work. Okay.
No. Short answer, no. You can't. You'd
Not
have
at
to have
the
2
same time.
machines. Yeah.
You can turn it off and then repoint it, turn it back on, it'll go to another one, but not simultaneously.
Correct.
Yeah, a suggestion I've seen before is create 2 shortcuts. And in the shortcut, you can do like PowerShell or like the reg.exe.
Oh, wow.
And so that when you click on the shortcut, it changes the server that the client is about to point to.
That's a really good tip, actually. I really like that. That's fantastic. Thank you.
You know, I love the fact that at a moment's notice, Colby can just one-up us.
Oh, always.
Instantly.
I'm pretty sure that's probably in his
Why
job
he's
title somewhere.
there. I mean, it's the phone a friend position. He does have access to a computer, whereas you guys are behind a couple blocks and
And booze.
Yes,
And booze.
And booze. That's the important one. Colby is.
Colby's stone cold sober right now.
He's a designated driver,
Yeah,
essentially.
Designated
he does have
intelligent
that
guy.
advantage.
I now want a cover, a Stone Cold Crazy, but Stone Cold Sober.
You know, I think we may change the name of our phone a friend to the DD.
Designated.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it.
But you do have to phone a designated driver. Yeah. Anywho.
It's not calling Uber, call a Colby.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Maybe I should just start saying, "Dear Colby." Really.
You know, you should. The further into the
a
webcast
good
we
point.
get, the more we're drinking. So, yeah.
There we go. Well, Colby, I have a PDQ deploy job that runs multiple packages with include entire directory that are all in the same folder. Does copy run on every package, or is there any check? If not, how do I arrange this to copy just once? Sincerely, Renee.
Okay. Now, I've got an idea.
Okay.
Buddy said, Dear Colby. So, Colby, this one's yours, buddy.
Okay. What you got, Colby?
What you got, baby?
So if I understand the question correctly, what I assume they mean is they have multiple packages that are all copying the same file.
Yeah.
Same directory of files.
So whether that be an install step, I'm guessing, or any step with the include entire directory.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, I think we have a cache. I don't know if it caches this. This isn't something I've tested, so it might only copy once. I'm not sure.
What about that?
Bit different.
It is a bit different, but it's there, and you can still try and run off it, can't you?
Yes, but this,
Did you see that, Colby? I checked the install requires source.
Yeah, I don't think our runner looks at that.
no,
way?
it doesn't. Not
Okay.
that way. This is there for like when you're running an application where you can go add or remove features or components separately, and it often stores those files somewhere that it can reference later from the application. We want, since our runner is kind of an agent on demand of sorts, it goes over there, creates a service, goes
Yep.
boop, go do the things, and then destroy itself. This is basically saying, go do the things, put these installation files somewhere safe, don't destroy those, but destroy everything else so that if they ever need to be referenced, they're there.
So they can't reference that from the deploy.
Correct. With the included entire directory, I don't remember if it's if it does
Is
that
it
per
at
the
a
entire
step
package
level
or
and move
not.
it? Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the use case for this is between packages. I'm fairly certain it does not. Again, someone at work here, please chime in and correct me. But within the same package, it should be there, but not between packages. No.
What about nested packages?
Well, that's just it. If it's within one package and nested, maybe this is a gray area. I'm not certain. That's a very fantastic question. But I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm curious now.
I am too. I'm going to try it right after the webcast.
Believe me, he will.
Well,
Colby
no,
will
we
figure
will
out.
find out. Well, when do I say we?
Colby.
Colby.
That's why we say Dear Colby.
Definitely.
So, and this is the whole reason I don't, have a duel of wits with Colby. I'll be laying dead. First question, I'm out. Because regardless, even if I get the right answer, his will be better.
Well, he has the ultimate card,
And
but with
less slurry.
PowerShell. Yeah.
Unless slurry, am I slurring?
Oh, I might be. Am I?
Slurry?
All right.
All right.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I'm not always slurry, but I can try.
Hey, I can read this one.
Okay.
No. I'm not. No, reading is not part of my. Go ahead.
Dear Lex and Chris, is there a way to produce reports for auditors proving that our patch game is on point? I've tried showing deployment schedules. Sincerely, Reggie Dixon.
Reggie. Now, this is how I've done it and helped other customers who have to do PCI compliance and that. What you do is basically, I have them schedule the application report. And the thing about that is you have it pumped out every month, and you just, when the auditors show up, and I'll show you how to build a schedule off this. Oh, not from AD is the only one selected. Let's actually make this show something.
Also, not in existence.
But, okay, so here's the thing, right? So you've got that folder where you've got January, February, March, April, May. You say, hey, here you go. Enjoy yourself. Look for what you want, right? And it puts out Adobe. Notice Adobe Creative Cloud in January is 4.6. This is August. It's now 4.8. So they've got a consistent, once a month they will see this. And the way you do that is it auto reports, new schedule. And again, this is just typical scheduling from this point. Your details, your trigger. And the one thing I will say about this, pick your path, UNC path to a file share to put it for the auditors.
Yep.
Okay. And I'd put it as a PDF, so it's static, it can't be changed.
Presentable.
And then again, triggers,
stuff.
same as other triggers, run it once a month, and That's how I would do it.
Yes, and
Any
if you're
thoughts?
doing if you're doing this kind of thing consistently, you can set up one schedule and add multiple reports to that one schedule here for auto reports, so that everything you care about or someone at your work cares about can be consolidated and reported on. They can go, fetch it themselves. You just tell them go here, or if they don't know stuff, set up a map drive and say just click here and go get it. And they can always have that access and be able to see that information without having to say and hit you up every time, at 2 a.m. says, where are we at the application thing? And you say, I don't know, I'm sleeping. But they can solve it themselves.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Dear Lex and Chris, in inventory, is there a way to grab a list of all the computers on my network and grade them by age? This will help target old devices. Thanks, cousin Eddie D.
Okay. When you say age, as in when you installed the system, or when you deployed the system, or
How long you've had the system?
Yeah,
what
there's
CPU model it is.
Yeah.
How much hard drive space? There's a lot of things you can determine as this is an old computer, right?
Yeah. But yes, as long as there's a metric or some sort of something that you want to track, we should be tracking that or have that here. And if it's not here, you should be able to go grab it somehow, even if you have to.
WMI query of sorts,
Something
or even
like
the
that.
registry.
Yeah. Or even if it's just a simple, like when you create a new machine, if you have a custom field for, the created data sorts or something, I mean, you could do something. Like I know a lot of people do warranty information or like service tag information from different vendors. You could also include the, hey, purchase date, and actually track that in custom fields, then report on that, and then sort that information by when it was done.
There is a lot of different ways to go get some age things, so.
Yeah, so it really depends on how you want to, or what information you're trying to reflect.
Here's a quick, if you need something from the computer table, consider this like the table. This is where you find the data. Application data, application table, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
CPUs, if you're looking for anybody with a CPU this or older, you go into, where's my CPUs? Oh, ABC CPU. So that's how I would, hey, shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm in a giggly mood. It's great.
All right. It's the liquor.
It is.
I'm not that funny.
I've not had that. Yes.
Okay. But, that's how I'd go about it. I look for, this CPU or older is generally a good indication. So.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's pick something,
Yeah.
run with it. There's a lot.
There's a lot. I mean, you've even got Active Directory created date. I mean, there's...
There is a lot. Just It depends what is important to you and what you consider that age field. And if there's something, let's just say in a magical world, there's a field out there that we're not collecting about our computer, and it helps you indicate, or helps a lot of people indicate it. Shoot us an email. Let us know. Let's see. I love it.
Custom fields too.
Yeah.
So you can go put in, this is a lot of upfront work, but you could do, in service date, warranty date, warranty expiration date, those kind of things. Add them here, and you can do an import from a CSV file. So it makes it fairly easy if you've got the data somewhere else to get it in here.
Super easy. In fact, I even have a blog about how to do it automatically with PowerShell. So you can go create from the command line the custom field itself, go get the data, and then you can populate it and use the import custom fields wizard from the command line and go boop, 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 boop.
I'm surprised you don't say automagically with PowerShell.
I didn't.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Well, then I'm wrong. It's automagically.
It is magic.
It is. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to skin that request.
Skin that squirrel,
Yeah.
cat.
Animal.
All right.
Walk like an animal.
All right. Boy, shut us down on that one.
Dear people, I love the run command in inventory, but it looks like it has a limit of 16 concurrent sessions. Is there a way to modify the limit like we have in deploy and its concurrent target limits under performance? Before you say use deploy, the run command seems to be the only way I can get LiteTouch.vbs, MDT, to kick off correctly. Sincerely, Dave Smith.
All right. 16. Let's test this, shall we? We'll test it live. Chris is like, I want to do a keyboard.
Well, I just was going to select all of them.
Well, were you now? We'll
You-
check
you
this
just
out. We're going to
selected-
do it like, I got one.
Yeah, he has it. He has it. He's doing it. Lexus
Now I'm on
Pro.
the wrong thing. You just told. Okay, run command. Let's do something we've never done before. A dir.
We're going boldly.
Boldly, where no one's gone. Will you dir it right there? And for those of you who don't know, you can actually go down here and choose computers. Now, you can do it the efficient way, like Chris would, select them all first, or you can do it this way.
or the Lex way, which is actually a great way, especially when
Lex way.
Lexway is typing LS.
LS minus L, pipe more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do that on
Alright.
still in PowerShell. Anyway, yes, fantastic. You wanna let's run that guy.
Should we do it? See how many run?
Let's run it. See how they run.
Is there? I'm not gonna push run after that. You have to do it. No, that is horrible. That's horrible.
I know.
horrible.
I'm a horrible person. It's fantastic.
It says 36 are running.
Yeah.
I'm selected. Do we see any
You won't
indicator
see
here?
any- no.
indicator there, so we just gotta watch it from the run screen.
Yeah.
21 finished, 15 finished. So my guess is, now here's my guess, is you're limited to your settings here on preferences. That would be my guess, right? I mean, which is...
With
Right here?
where he's going,
Do we know?
I don't know, to be honest. I'd check that setting, see if it's set to 16 for some reason. You may have bumped it down, but do you know, Colby? This is actually something I've never encountered.
I don't know either. I'm going to ask our developers.
Cool.
You're
well,
making a note? You're going to test it?
well, see if we can get an
I'm
answer
asking
quickly.
live in Slack.
Oh, asking live.
Yeah,
we,
so
we actually might know before the end of the show.
Hopefully. We'll cross our fingers for you, because we don't know the answer. If, like Lex is saying, if we had to bank on a guess, I would say that concurrent scan setting would be the one,
there,
but-
it said it was running pretty much everything.
Yeah, I guess one other question I have is what type of tool you're doing. Are you doing a local tool, a remote tool, a system tool? The remote tools I can understand where it's the concurrent sessions, but if you're doing a system tool or a local tool, that runs on your PDQ computer.
Yeah, locally.
And so I'm not quite sure what the limit would be there, because it's not like opening multiple connections to multiple machines. It's all happening on your machine. In which case, that might be something to clarify as well with developers. But
Well,
I don't know.
let's digress. He's running remote. We'll go after remote right now.
Yeah, I assume remote,
Oh, yeah.
because you're doing the LiteTouch stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming with MDT, but
That'd be interesting
Again,
to find out.
yeah.
We don't know, guys. But it ran a bunch right there.
really quickly, yeah.
Really
I mean,
fast.
we're just doing directory listing.
Dude,
but
it's a massive dir.
I know. It is the dir of all dirs.
Yeah. So,
King dir
King dir.
in his kingdom.
It's the dearest.
No, I'm stopping you guys. We need the next question. That's just wrong, guys. Wrong. So wrong. Wrong.
I'm going to cry.
I'm crying on the inside right now.
Dear Lex and Chris, I think inventory would be vastly better if it had historical data too. See renames and archive assets to refer to later. What are the chances of adding that at some point? Sincerely, Evan S.
Should we try fate?
Do it.
Are we going to do that in the future? Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Wait. Magic 8 ball.
Magic 8 ball?
Definitely maybe.
Possibly. It could be done. Whether or not it gets done, I mean, that's a great feature request, but
That adds a whole nother dimension to inventory.
It does.
whole nother
Back in history.
dementia.
Dimension.
A lot of it, and there's a couple different ways you can take this. There's kind of some simple ways to solve this, which I'm going to give my disclaimer here.
Okay.
Super disclaimer, please do not follow this advice at your own peril. You can add your own tables into the database.
Oh, you went there.
And you
went there. Wow.
Yes, I did. You can create triggers on this too, so that when a new entry gets removed or added or removed or modified to a table, you can then make a copy of that somewhere else. So you can always have changes. And
You see this?
What? Okay.
was-
He shakes his
Big
head.
gamble. Big gamble, guys.
So about 4.5, 5 years ago, I did this on my own database because I was curious how quickly,
okay, good.
at what frequency.
How quickly he could fill up his hard drive.
Well, yeah, that too. But the frequency of changing applications. So I did that myself. I know it's possible, but it is super kludgy, and it's not supported. So if you break something and you contact our wonderful solutions team for some support, they're going to look at this and say,
WT. I don't know what the
Bad.
last thingy is after that.
what the H?
Okay, I thought you were going with the look. You can export that data as a CSV nightly.
okay, there's that
Keep
too.
that, and that doesn't mess with a database.
Yeah.
Chris, that's such a better idea.
Oh,
dude.
it is. Okay, so let's. I'll expand this. We'll change it. 5-year previous Chris has leveled up here now. So instead of making triggers on the database, which I still think is a cool idea, but instead of that, just have a PowerShell script run, daily or something, and offload it to another database, whether it's SQL Server or Oracle if you're an animal, and or any other one. It'd be fun.
The great thing is, it's an auto report. You can build a report that has all the data you want to export. Schedule it in auto reports, have it drop in the same spot, and
Stick it in
I
Google
would use
Sheets.
PowerShell to read that data into a new database.
Be still my heart. Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
Oh.
And at this point, you haven't messed with the database that runs your inventory. So
Because you're not silly like some people possibly named Chris.
all I
that like
know is
storage
you
use.
do that. It's like, don't snip the wire. Which one? I'm not sure at this point, right?
For the record, it survived like 3 years of changes and upgrades, and it's still at one point I remember seeing like some 7.5 million records. So I know at least with the machines I was tracking, there's like 7.5 million changes in applications.
Chris, I do not
Lex,
doubt you can make it work.
I know
okay?
it's
I'm just telling you.
either the green wire or the red wire, which doesn't help you all that much.
No, so let's just cut both.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Well,
All I know is my shirt, if I have to do that, if it says, if you see me running, try and keep up. That's all.
Yes.
Dear Lex and Chris, is there an option in a report that will say what account was used to install an application? Thanks, Joshua L.
La 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 la. I'm opening a machine right now. I'm going to go to deployments. Deployments. Path,
There's a
path.
caveat here with what we're showing here, but yes.
All right, we got deploy user, deployment console. What's the caveat, Chris? Because I thought this might be the answer, right?
It's the answer if the application was installed via deploy that's tied to this console.
Good point.
So if someone manually installs an application or from another instance of deploy or something that's not connected to this one, you're not going to see that here. This is good if you're all managing it automatically. There's the word. It's fantastic. But if I just...
Central server, you'd have the different people
Yes,
doing it.
exactly.
Okay,
So
that's where I was going with this.
Yes. But if, you have some end user who decides they want to install because they're awesome, VS Code, I hear good things about it.
Ask toolbar, that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, the
Do
Ask
they even do
toolbar.
that still? But yeah.
Probably because...
If there's a way for an end user to do it, they'll find a way.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that information is stored anywhere where that account information gets registered in the uninstall information. Do you know anywhere where that's stored?
I believe there are events logged when you install applications, and so
Okay, I guess you could do that way,
so
yeah.
you might be able to pull it out of the event log if the event is still there.
Yeah, and if it's still there and you can do the parsing of it with PowerShell, it's actually much easier than using the actual event viewer itself. That's slow. But yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thought. That would probably
But
be the
there's
best
no
one. I can't think of another
easy
one.
way right out the gate to do it. You'd
No.
have to parse an events log.
Yeah, no, I'd be curious to know if anybody has a better way or knows of a way that's a little more straightforward.
I'm going with Colby.
Cool. Colby's a good choice. Yeah.
Dear Lex and Chris, how do I, as a loyal PDQ customer, get one of those sweet pint glasses or a few for my team? Sincerely, Devin.
Whoa, okay. Loyal customer, Devin. If you're loyal, why don't you want the glass with the fingers on it? Because that's the one.
No. My glasses are cool. I drink beer. Yum.
Okay, pint glass, I can pour more scotch in there, but,
Oh, boy.
once I
Yeah,
get
that's a
past
lot.
3 fingers, I'm messed.
I hate you, liver.
yeah.
I say that nightly as I look in the mirror. I hate you, liver.
I've got a thought.
All right.
You should apply to work here. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
We'll give you a pint glass.
Yeah.
You should come work here. We got some pint classes for you.
What's your
Bribe
resume?
Lisa, maybe.
Yeah.
She's the keeper of the good stuff.
Keeper of the pint glasses. And other.
I like that question. That was easy. Colby, what do you think, man?
I like Chris's idea, but also by asking a question, you are registered to
yeah.
win.
Oh, they cheated then. They knew. They're just like, well, if I put this in the question portion.
There we go.
All right.
Fool me once, shame on Colby.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, because you pointed it out. I didn't think of it, so good work.
Colby is the designated driver here.
True.
Dear Lex and Chris and Colby, is it possible to deploy and register an ActiveX control with Deploy? Sincerely, Reggie D.
Okay, reg serve 32. Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
run that.
That's a yes with an asterisk, a very large asterisk, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's
and
some
I'm
work involved, obviously.
I'm sure that you have to because of reasons, and I feel your pain. So in a previous life, I used to manage a mid-sized call center, and we had a couple different ActiveX controls we had to register. Actually, unregister, then re-register, and we had to use the command, the reg serve 32 or whatever it is, to do that. It's super easy. It's just that one line, or if you're unregistering it, then re-registering it, it's 2 lines. You can put that in a run command. You can put that into a package with a run command step or PowerShell step, and then just run it on against those machines.
You could even make a tool out of it in
Yeah,
inventory.
totally. There's yes, there's that.
Yeah. Ways to do it.
Yeah, just
Feel bad for you.
Chris,
Google how to do it. It's pretty straightforward.
Until Chris really feels your pain.
I do. It was a pain. Flashbacks.
Is that why you've been rocking?
It hurts.
Every day.
I cry because it's true.
Dear Lex and Chris, will inventory eventually have the ability to automatically or automagically scan the registry for software product keys? If not, why? Kai Lo Ren C.
The Force is with him.
Indeed.
He's strong with the Force. It's been a while since I've seen a Star Wars.
Or Kylo C can see the no. Anyway, I'm stopping. I'm done.
Wow.
Do you have any thoughts on this before?
Oh, I got thoughts.
Yeah.
You might want to say your thoughts first.
Okay, so we used to have kind of a product key scanner in the product many ages and moons ago. Turns out a lot of the products that we were scanning kind of moved, especially one of the main ones people used it for, which was for Office products and Windows. They moved a lot of that to be managed in the cloud, which kind of introduced complex to this. And there are tools out there that can do it much simpler, and you can just import that data. So if it's in the registry, you can scan for it. In fact, you can then go add it as a custom field. I mean, you can go get that information yourself. If it's in WMI, use WMI scanner.
Speaking of WMI, I actually did a video, and it's out there and available, that's got the scanner that pulls partial product keys from Microsoft products. So that's a good place to start if you want to see how to do it. I just walked you through, getting those keys.
Yeah.
And it's partial, but, it's better than nothing, and it's... The reason we discontinued it was just incomplete. We couldn't give people solid data.
Yeah, what they wanted, and so many different vendors do it so many different ways. It seemed like we were constantly trying to fight, just this roaring tide of, oh, but they changed, they do it this way. Oh, but they do it this way, and they do it this way because reasons. And those reasons became kind of a lot of a juggling act. And if you don't know how to juggle, but you try juggling 12 balls, that's very difficult. So
I can't even juggle.
There was no standard.
Yeah.
Or it was like the XKCD of, let's turn all of these standards, these 13 standards, into one.
That's
okay,
right.
now we have 14 standards.
Yeah, seriously, there's one of the ones out there I know I've recommended in the past is that magical jelly bean. Yeah, that's one I've seen before. There's a bunch out there I've used even. But yeah, if you can scan, if it's just in the registry because they store it just in the registry, clear as text. Because anyway, you can go grab it really easily. Wow, did you see that little zing I gave?
Clear as text. Woo!
Dear Lex and Chris, Windows updates in PDQ is great, but I'm wondering if you will start adding manual Windows 10 upgrades as part of Deploy. Thanks, Ian W.
Manual, I'm talking like, are we going from 1803 to 19?
Yeah.
Like the full, okay. I'll take this one.
Please.
Because I get to answer this one a lot. So here's the thing, right? When those run, the reason we don't do it, can you do it in Deploy? Yes, here's your caveat. Okay, in the middle of that deployment, we don't control whether or not it reboots.
Yep.
When it reboots, we lose, if it times out, we lose connectivity and mark it as a failed. Okay, when in all actuality, it kept going, it finished, and you can see this in inventory. So you can do it. We don't like giving you something that, may or may not return you good data all the time, so.
Yeah, I can't even imagine opening up an application for some vendor that says, yeah, this feature works, kind of, sometimes.
Sorta.
It might, maybe.
Check. But here's the thing. If you do it, you can obviously do it in Deploy.
Yeah.
There's blogs on it. And just check your inventory after the fact to see if it's actually been updated. So do a scan on inventory. See where everybody's moved around at that point.
And if any of you who've done this out there and actually used our products to do that, or have some fancy way outside of the, click, next, that has worked really well for you, share it with us. We're always learning. I like to learn new things. I'm always keen to hear new ways of doing things.
I stopped learning today.
Yeah.
Brain's full.
But that's what I would do.
Anything new comes in, something old has to go out.
Yes, I forgot most of everything before last week.
I just want all the bad memories to go out first. And those are never the ones that go out first. So,
Yes.
all right.
Hey, there's also that Windows 10 vulnerability that Microsoft announced yesterday.
Speaking of that, yes, you should go update your machines. That fixes a lot of the RDP stuff. So, yeah, good call.
Dear Chris, dear Lex, any plans on putting PDQ in Docker? Paul, why?
Why?
whoa,
Because you
okay.
asked.
Why?
The question is, can you? Sure.
No.
Should you? Maybe.
Oh, well, okay, so
A
then
big
that's
answer.
a valid question
Okay,
here.
it is valid.
Are there any plans? Kind of what we said before with like feature request general things. Well, definitely, maybe. I don't know. No.
Depends on
Yes?
the need. If it's a widespread need,
Yeah.
probably. If it's a one-off, probably not.
If you have actual factual benefit that you can use from that, shoot us. I'd like to hear about it. Find out what your use case is for that. Because I mean,
compelling reasons.
it's fantastic. I mean, I love the idea of taking an environment of hey, this application and having it all in one to move there. But the problem is with a lot of this. I mean, our products install so easily. You can be up and running within a couple minutes from next and go. But all the credentials in everybody's environments are going to be necessarily different, and so there's still going to be some customization that has to
that's
happen
true.
regardless.
That is true. Didn't think
Let
about
alone any other technical difficulties or anything that might go wrong otherwise with storing that in a container. But even that aside, I mean, if there are some hurdles to have to be considered, I suppose. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Jason Noonan, one of our developers here, explored using Docker for our products, and basically it's like not ready yet.
Yeah. There's
Not
some
yet.
challenges.
Yeah, there's some hurdles got to be overcome.
Yeah. But anywho, this is a great question though. I mean,
What's
I'm
this?
glad you're kind of thinking
We're going
forward.
to sidestep this question.
we're
Next
gonna-
question, please.
And it is time for the speed round.
Uh-oh.
Speed round.
You
Dear
want me to-
Lex and Chris, the heartbeat wake function does not work. I suspect it's a network configuration. Any suggestions, Dave Oll?
Dave L.
Okay, so
We're talking Wake Online, right? If this case.
Well, when you say heartbeat wake, I want to make a distinction here.
Okay.
We're talking about wake on LAN is kind of what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
If that's the case, make sure that in the BIOS that it's configured to enable that. Also on your network card itself, sometimes the allowing the magic packet to happen and actually knowing what to do with it. Sometimes it's actually just a checkbox saying that you'll allow or match on certain patterns for the magic packet. There's a couple different options outside of our application that you might want to check to make sure that your environment is actually receiving those. You can test that. You can even take everything out here, make sure it's not something with your network. Just take your one machine. Well, I guess it's not the network, but you can actually craft that UDP packet yourself.
Obviously, that's where you set it, where I just highlighted. But again, like Chris said, BIOS, NIC, there's a lot of setup. And then the other thing, you got to make sure your network security guys aren't blocking that kind of a broadcast.
Yeah, because it's UDP broadcast.
Launch.
Yes, you'll have to test it to make sure that you can do it. If you can do it outside of deploy for reasons and deploy's not, maybe it's a bug. I don't know. But
60's up, dude.
oh yeah, I can talk forever.
Dear Lex and Chris, is there a way to set a certain monitor refresh rate via PDQ? Thanks, Derek N.
Okay. Short answer, no. Not that I'm aware of. So monitor. Okay.
Can't set that in a registry. You can't set it. All right.
Maybe. I'll give the definitely maybe because there might be a new way that I'm not familiar with. But you can pull and query that information about a monitor. But here's the challenging part: is a lot of time it pulls from the system user, like the system account. And so even if someone's logged onto a machine,
that's right.
it'll actually pull from the system account. And so they might have a 2K monitor, but it's showing the resolution as 1024 by 768 and a different refresh rate. Maybe there's a way. There might be a fancy PowerShell module out there. Again, PowerShell, because someone's thought of fancy ways. And if you can find a way, I don't know of a way. Unless you're the user interacting with it right then and there.
If there's something with NVIDIA, maybe like an
Maybe.
API. I mean,
But even then, maybe with NVIDIA, actually proprietary stuff, they might have a way. But if you're trying to do it for someone else remotely, I have not had success with that in the past. Doing it locally for you currently running on your machine, maybe. Because you can set that resolution straightforward, kind of, and you can query it. But I've never had to change the refresh rate, so I don't know specifically about that.
I got nothing on that.
Yeah.
And
I'm
our
sorry.
final question of the day, can PDQ Deploy automatically or by schedule scan a Spiceworks group for devices that have been added or removed? Thanks, Mikey Mike.
You can.
All right, let's look at scans because that's where I'm thinking we could actually schedule a scan,
Yes.
right? So scan profiles.
Then you can point it.
Let's say we want to point this at our Spiceworks stuff, so we'll go in
Wait.
and edit this.
While he's doing that, the question, I thought he said PDQ deploy. Regardless,
Deploy, no. Can't do a
well,
scan.
no, so yeah, because the scanning happens for this, but in deploy you can create a schedule then point to Spiceworks group.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and then we can show that, like kind of what he's doing here.
Okay, so deploy. Sorry. Bring it
Yeah.
up. Sorry. Deploy
We're getting there.
this stuff.
Promise.
I don't know. You know, I'm backing off. I'm not driving. Chris.
Got
it's all
it.
you, baby.
So here's just a manual deploy ones for choose target Spiceworks. I'm actually going to back out and do a schedule because this is probably what you want. Sounds like you want to do on a schedule. So for targets, if you want to link to a Spiceworks group, I clicked on it, but I don't have Spiceworks configured
We don't
on
have
here.
set up, yeah.
But
You'd
that
be able
will
to
pull
select
up
the group there.
exactly. And then when you link to a given group, it actually queries that group every time that schedule kicks off. Every
On the
time
fly, yeah.
that does that. So each time that schedule kicks off, it'd be like, oh, who's there? Who's not there? Boom, go to those guys. So that's a good way to do it if you're just like deploying software based off that or triggering something. So you can, absolutely. Just remember to link to it. So, yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. It actually was. Because there's some great questions today. I love your laugh, Chris.
I mean, it was really fun. And I'm tripping over words because I'm laughing so much.
Dip.
Yeah.
We're going to end on bip, 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 bip,
Beep, 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 beep.
On that, I'm Lex.
I'm Chris.
We'll catch you all later.
See ya.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Joshua L. and Devin. Winners of PDQ swag, send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to our forums and support. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.